Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today in this video we are going to cover the chart of accounts, a list of fields that are going to come in the GL card. So let's jump on the chart of account. So there are two methods majorly from which we can go to chart of accounts page. The first one is the if you have already bookmarked the chart of accounts page, then you can click over here. Otherwise, there's another method that you can press Alt plus Q, or you can directly search this search button over here. Okay, and if you write chart of accounts over here, then you can jump to the list of all your accounts that are present in your system right now. Okay, so we are going to discuss about what does these things do, these fields do, accounts, balance, navigate, report, etc. Okay, so but before that, we are going to cover the list of fields that are present in the GL card. Okay, there are majorly five sections that are present in GL card in Business Central. First one, general, posting, consolidation, reporting, and cost accounting. So if you have a grip on the first two parts of the GL card section, then you can start uh, working on the GL card, and you can easily work on that, because the other three, like consolidation, reporting, and cost accounting, are majorly related to only one module. Other than that, the general, if it doesn't matter, you are using the balance sheet account or income statement account or whatever the account is, so it doesn't matter. Still, you can use that journal and posting field in all those modules, in all those accounts. But for the consolidation, this is purely related to the consolidation setup business unit. So we are going to discuss in the consolidation setup video. We're not going to discuss in detail. Same goes with the reporting. It is discussed in the currency related activities. And the last one, cost accounting, which is going to cover in the cost accounting setup. Okay. So let's jump to the section of the GL card. If you click on the journal, you are going to see approximately 15 to 20 fields over here. Okay, starting with the first one, the number. This is just a GL account card number, like 1000, whatever the number you want to specify, you can specify. One thing you need to note, that this is following a specific pattern when you are giving the numbers, assigning a number to any of the GL card. Okay, for example, the land and the building, this is every acquisition of the land and building will going to hit this account. Okay, so why it is 1110, why it is not any other number? Okay, so this is purely related to a sequence, you can say. Okay, there are multiple methods from which we can number our GL card. For example, some of the company says that every account that is that has a nature of asset should start from 1. For the liability, it should start from 2. For the equity, it should start from 3. So that is purely up to you, that how you want to see your chart of accounts or GL accounts card in the system. Okay, but if you think so that it should come automatically, so then this is not possible and it doesn't also make any sense, because for example, currently over here you can see 1140. Okay, and over here you can see 1240. Okay, so if I'm creating a new card, which number should come after that? Okay, so, or if you are talking about the last account 9999, which is net income account. Okay, so if I create a new one, it will bring the next number, like, which is 10,000. Okay, so but I want to create an account between this, between the land and building begin total to the end total. Okay, so it is not possible to set up the number series in Business Central for the GL card. Other than that, for the items, customers, you can configure the number series uh, in whatever way you want. Okay, for timing, for the you can say, for the sake of example, we are going to take the any expense account. Okay, and we are going to use that for our whole session. Okay, let's pick the delivery expense. Okay, we already discussed the number. The second one is the name. Whatever name you are going to specify over here will come in the description of on the invoices or on the GL on the journals. Okay, and for example, you want to search, if you think so that you want to search with this name, then that is not possible. This is not linked with the search activity. This is purely linked with the just the name that is going to come when you're going to select the 8450 number in the invoices or in the journal. Okay, so the next field is income and balance. This is is this account is an income statement account or balance sheet account. So this is very basic. Every single finance accountant can easily specify that delivery expense is purely related to income statement, not the balance sheet. But whatever account you're creating, you can specify as per your requirement. The next one is the account category. Expense is automatically specified. If I first time for the sake of example, if I select assets, okay, you can see it is automatically changed to the balance sheet. So that means the account category is actually linked with the income and the balance sheet. Okay, so for example, if I select over here like it was an expense account, so it will come back to the income statement. This cost type error, you can ignore that because this is purely related to cost accounting. So you are not going to see this error or the notification. It's not an error, it's actually a notification. You're not going to see this notification because you're not going to use the cost accounting right now if you just started your configuration. But for me, you can say actually I have already configured that in this company. So you're going to see this notification every time when I'm going to do any change in the system. Okay, so for the next one is the, yeah, one more thing regarding the account category. If you want to create something new over here, okay, for example, you want to create a new category name as profit and loss, profit slash loss, or anything like that, so you won't be able to do that. Account category are fixed. You cannot add in, or you cannot less that. Okay, uh, whatever I'm going to say is it's totally related to the functional activity. If you say that we are with the help of development, can we do that? Yeah, with the help of development you can do anything almost. But for this from the functional perspective, it is purely related, that it is fixed. You cannot change that, yeah, or you cannot add any new category or less the one that currently exists. For the next one is account subcategory. This is related with the account category. For example, I have specified the expense over here, and in the account category, if I click on the three dots, what I can see the written expense and the list of all the subcategories that comes under the expense. Now one more thing, we can do a separate session on the GL account categories, but just for the sake of just for the brief, you can say I can specify that this expense is actually the account category which we specified earlier. Okay, and now all the subcategories we can create that. For example, new category occurs and you want to create a separate subcategory for that new count, for that new account, then you can create a new sub ledger. Okay, for that you can click on new over here, but this is not our topic right now. But just want to show you that if you want to create a new category, then you cannot create in the account categories. You have to come to the sub ledger accounts to manage that. Okay, for the time being, it was specified expenses, so just we are going to specify that again. Okay, for the next one is like debit, credit, and if you click on the drop down, you can see both debit, credit. So what does that means? Okay, so sometimes few accounts are by default have the debit nature, and few accounts have the credit nature. Let me give you an example. For example, the delivery expense, it's actually an expense account, and by default whenever the expense occurs, it is actually debit. It becomes debit. Okay, you pass an entry like expense debit to cash credit or the accounts payable credit, something like that. But for the start, you can say that it has a debit nature. Same goes with the sales account. If it has a credit nature. Okay, and both means that this is this can have the debit as well as the credit nature. Okay, so is there any logical expression written in the code behind this? Then the answer is no. This is just for the sake of, you can say, filter. Okay, let me show you, let me give an example for that. As you can know that delivery expenses are debit nature account. So if you click on the credit over here, okay, and you go to the journal, Okay, okay, we can close that, and if we go to the general and specify in the drop down 8450, which is the delivery expense account. Okay, and specify this with the amount, you can say 1000 bank credit. If I just preview post that, so you can see it is not giving me an error, that it should have a debit nature in the GL account card, or in the GL account card to specify credit. It should not allow you to post a debit nature entry. For example, if you come over here, you can see 8450, which is a delivery expense account, is actually in it actually have a debit nature. Okay, so for the sake of example, which I showed you, that it is not going to have any function logic behind this. Okay, like logical expression written in the development in the code. Okay, rather than you can use it as for filter purpose. For example, you have specified debit and credit nature for every single account that is present in the chart of accounts. Okay, so because of that, okay, you can apply the filter. You want to see all the accounts that have a debit nature, so you can use that for that purpose. Otherwise, if you say that it should give you, if it should restrict you while posting an entry for that GL card, then this is not possible in the from the functional perspective. Okay, the next one is account type, and it has 5 options in that. Again, you cannot increase or decrease that. This is fixed. Posting all the transactions that are post in the system, all the transactions are linked with the posting accounts. For example, it is a posting account 8450. If I go back and say, for example, let's say for the example 8400 selling expense, which is a begin total, it's not a posting account. Okay, so if I select 8400 over here, so it is giving me an error. The field account number of the table contains a value 8400 that cannot be found in the related table. Because why? Because it is only going to find the posting accounts. Okay, so it can post if your account nature is begin total, end total, heading, or total, it is not going to let you enter the account number in the journal or in the invoices as well. Okay, so another question arises, that what is majorly the difference between the posting between the heading and begin total, also for the total and end total, what is the major difference? Okay, so the answer is actually simple. Begin total and end total are, you can say, a little bit automatic as compared to the heading and the total. Okay, for at many places you are going to see it is written that the heading is for the major heading. Okay, okay. Let me give you an example for that. What does that mean? What does that mean? For example, if you go on the top, you can see the balance sheet is written over here, and you can say that we can specify heading for that. Yeah, you can do that. That's not an issue, and that will be great, because in the end, balance sheet does not have any total account. It's just working as a heading right now. But rather than for the assets, you can say it is begin total rather than headings. Okay, because you're definitely going to want to see the list of you want to see an account which is showing you the sum of all the assets over here. Okay, so you can see end total is here written over here. Okay, so what is the major difference between that? I have created, you can say, an Excel sheet for that, in which I can explain you what does that really means. Okay, let's jump to the Excel part. So we are on Excel sheet right now. Okay, so you can see in the top that I have created two different, you can say, sides of the table over here. One with the name as begin and the end total, and the other is with the name of heading and total. I just want to explain you what is the difference between that. Okay, so on the left side, which is the easy part, you can say, the assets and the total assets, and I have created 3 accounts: cash, inventory, and receivables, and entered the, to test the sample value over here. Okay, for the assets, I specify the begin total, and with total assets, I have specified the end total. Okay, so one thing you need to remember is that begin and end total is majorly linked with the indentation of chart of accounts. Okay, and what does I mean with that? If I go back to the chart of accounts, you can see over here that there's a proper indentation is present when I use the begin and the end total over here. Okay, and if I go to the uh, home option, then you can see the indent chart of account option present in that. And if you read the description, then you can read indent accounts between a begin total and the matching end total one level to make the chart of account easier to read. Okay, so if I run the indentation and these accounts are specified in the system, okay, so what will happen, it will automatically indent it. And what is the formula that will come? I will write the formula in this G8 cell. It will automatically create this 1 to 5. Okay, so what does 1 to 5 means? That it will sum all the accounts that are present between 1 to 5 account, 1 2 3 4 5. And one thing you need to remember, this is the basic rule of every of whenever you are going to work in the business central. These formula only going to use the posting accounts for the sum. Okay, even just let's say for the example, this is actually practically not possible, that there's a 5,000 balance in the begin total. Even though there's a 5,000 balance in the begin total, still it is going to show you that 3700, because it is only summing the posting accounts. Okay, and let's delete that 5,000 because it was wrong. So I'm sure you understand that the end total, that this indentation will automatically create the formula. Might be there like 20 25 30 groups that are present in complete chart of accounts. Okay, so it is automatically going to create the formulas for every single group with the help of this indentation. Okay, but still there are some places in the chart of accounts. If I go a little bit down, uh, because in the liability and the in this asset section, you can see the begin total and end total works remarkably. But in the equity section, you can see over here stockholders system, or the business center is using heading and the total account over here. Okay, this 31,900 is the final equity account, so you can see total over here. Okay, and one more thing, that if you can say the heading is the stockholders equity. Okay, so it should close at the total stockholders equity. Why the net income for the year is bold actually? Because one thing you need to remember, system is going to bold only the uh, you can say heading, total, begin total, and end total accounts. All the posting accounts should not be in the bold state. Okay, it is not possible, because it works automatically. Okay, system will not going to give you the permission to change it. Or if you say you don't want to see them bold, so it is not possible. This is actually you can say system default. Okay, then why the net income is specified over here? Net income means the sum of the profit or loss of the year. It should enter in the equity side. So let me explain using the Excel. Okay, first one is the equity. I have specified heading. For example, let's, for the sake of example, let's use the begin total and end total feature over here. Okay, I'll change it to begin total, and in the last one I change it to end total. Okay, and if I run the indentation, what will happen? It will add one to, it will create the formula like this. Okay, and it sounds great right now, but still it is not going to give you the sum of 3700. Rather than it is going to give you the sum of 2200. So it is not going to include the 1500 in this case. Why? Because of the nature of the account type is total, and I have specified all the formulas should going to sum the accounts that have the posting nature, not the total nature. Okay, and if I try to change the formula, I try to add the pipe sign and then try to add 4 over here, still it is not going to work, because in the begin and the end total, system will not going to allow you to change the formula, because it is only going to create by the system. If you want to work manually, okay, so then the only option that you have is using the heading and the total feature. Okay, and in the heading and the total feature, in the net income, for example, let for the sake of example, 6 to, you can say 10 is all the list of accounts that are for income statement to calculate the profit and loss of the year of the company. So you can say I have, you can see I have specified 6 to 10 over here, And even though if I specify 1 to 5 over here, system is still going to show you not the 3700, it is only going to show you 2200. So what is the reason how we are going to enter that 1500 in the total equity? Because otherwise the balance sheet is not going to get matched. So the method is, you have to include the pipe sign, okay, and you have to specify the separate range over here like this, okay, which is going to specify the list of all the accounts that are present between the equity to total equity that has a posting nature, plus the list of all the income statement accounts, which is going to give you 1500, and in the end you will see the 3700 balance. So this is the major difference between the begin and the end total indentation. How indentation will work, now we are going to create a now we are going to create a small example over here, okay, and let's see what system will does. For example, if we go to the expense part over here, you can say interest expense 9290, okay, and now we are going to create 9291, 2 and 3, okay, these three accounts. 9291, which is the, you can say, the begin account. I'm naming it as a begin total, okay. Just forget about the nature. Now the second one is the 9292, and is the posting account, and the account type is posting. Now we are going to create the third one, 9293, and we are going to name it as a end total account, okay, and in the last we are going to specify the end total, okay. Okay, so sorry for that, just give me a second. I think so I did not change the nature. Yes, begin total, okay. Now we can change the 9293 and total over here, okay. So as you can see over here, 9, if I go to that range, so you can see over here begin total, posting, and the end total, and there's no formula present over here right now, okay, and there's no indentation to show that this is it is currently showing these are on the same level, okay. So what is the method? Click on the indentation, say yes. What it will do, if I go back to the 9291 account, okay, on this one, so you can see automatically indentation is done and the formula is created, okay. And now I want to show you one more thing over here. If I go over here and specify uh, let's say 1000 to 3000, okay, so what it will do, it will add it, but next time when you're going to run the indentation, it will not going to indent it, because you are actually treating the end total as a total account, not the end total account. So that is why it is recommended not to change this, and we say that it is not preferable or it is not allowed. System will not going to perform rightly in the correct manner to if you change the formula of the end total by yourself. Okay, just to get the indentation. And if you go up, if you go up to the equity accounts, you will see there's no indentation over here. Okay, just a second. These are the equity account, so you can see there's no indentation. Why? Because of the total account. And over here, net income for the year 60 to 6000 to 999, and in the total share stockholder equity, you can see the pipe sign, and the again the account is added just to get the sum of the net income. One more thing, that you can delete the accounts which you have created in the chart of accounts, okay. For example, if I come over here, click on delete, so you can see it is allowing me to delete the end total account as well as the posting account as well as the begin total account, okay. Because it doesn't have any value in that. For example, but if I try to delete this one, this office supply, then it have, you can see the balance of 1000 over here. So if I delete it, balance must be 0 in the GL account 8210, current value is 1000, so it is not going to allow me to delete it, okay. So this is another thing which you need to remember at the time of working with this. Now let's back to the next fields, okay. So it is completed, the account type is completed. The next one is the totaling, also done. This is the formula. And the next two fields are pretty much, you can say, have the same nature. You are going to get the results on the when you print the chart of accounts in the system. Number of blank lines means that if you currently you can see it is 0 over here. What it will do, it will add the number of blank lines that want inserted before this account. For example, this 8450 account, it is going to leave one line in the top of that if I specify 1 over here, and if I specify 2, it will going to leave two lines. Okay, so currently it is 0, that means it is not going to leave any line. Okay, and for the next page, if you want to see this account only on completely one page, okay, so you can enable this boolean new page. So what it will do, all the accounts until 8450 will be printed in a sequence, and then whenever the 8450 account comes, it is going to create a separate page for that, and then in the next page it will going to start printing the 8451 account and onward. Okay, so the next one is the search name. Search name, when I specify the name over here, so I also specify the search name. If you remember one thing, when we create the 9191, or I forgot the number, 9191, and we specify the posting, sorry for the spelling, posting account. Okay, so it, as you can see, it automatically created the search name with the same whatever I have written over here. Okay, even you can say the spelling is absolutely identical, it's same. So what does that means? So actually, what is the difference between this name and the search name? The search name is actually when if you use the Business Central a lot, you can in the you can say the search in the drop down field, sometimes we have to enter the 8450 number or whatever the number is. Okay, for the time being, I can show you that 8450. So rather than, if I don't remember the number, what I can do, I can write the name. So what it is picking, from where it is picking, so it is actually picking from the search name rather than the name. Okay, so that is why the search name is important. The next field is the balance. Balance means the sum of list of all the entries that are present in them. And if you click on the 2001, so you can see over here that 1000 or 1001, these are the two entries that are present in this GL account card. Okay, so it sum these two accounts. Okay, and it is showing you the 2001 balance right now. Okay, the next one is the reconciliation account. One thing you need to remember, that is, it has nothing to do with bank reconciliation. A lot of people, a lot of consultants get confused when they read this the name of the field, reconciliation account. So they think so that they need to enable it for the banks. Okay, so it is not related to that. Okay, for example, if I enable the reconciliation account for the for the delivery expense account, okay, and if I go back to the journal, I specify the 8450 over here. Okay, and I specify the value of, you can say, 950 over here. Okay, I change it because there was an entry of 1000 in the balance. So if I come to the home, if I click on the reconcile, so you can see the delivery expense over here. Okay, so this delivery expense comes because I enable enable that boolean over there. Okay, so all the accounts in which the boolean is enabled, you can see, you can reconcile that over here. Okay, so what will be the balance that is going to come in the in the balance field of that GL card? So it depends upon whatever you have written over here. Okay, might be for example, if you change the amount, like if you change it to 1750, okay, this is a, you can say, the random value. So you can see over here, delivery expenses, now the value is actually changed. So why it is changing? So it is changing because of the number I have written over here. So before you can post this entry, you can check that is it matching what effect I'm going to get after I post this. You can say the value. Okay, so this is what reconciliation is used for. Okay, next one is automatic extended text. Okay, sometimes you see if you come to the, you can say, the inspection page. Okay, so you can see over here the delivery, the name delivery expense have the text limit of 100. After the 100 you are not going to allow to enter any new character in the name. So sometimes whenever you're going to use this account in the journals or the invoices, you need the extended text with you. For example, delivery expense, and you want the details after that. Okay, and that details are, you can say, a little it's actually fixed. Okay, so what it is going to do, you have to enable the automatic extended text, and it is actually linked with the extended text over here. Okay, so this is a separate feature we are going to cover in the different video, but for time being I'm just explaining you that automatic extended text, how you are going to use it, and this is a very great feature of Business Central. We are going to discuss in the different videos separately. The next is the direct posting. So this is a very good concept of, you can say, if you have knowledge of sub ledger and general ledger entries, and you can specify over here. You can see I have written the article regarding that, and you can see the list of all the fields which I covered are also explained over here. So in the direct posting, you can see select direct posting allowed or not. If it is allowed, that it is directly going to pick from the general ledger. Okay, and if it is not allowed, then it is going to pick from the modules means going to pick from the any sub ledger entry. Okay, and if we read the definition, indicate whether posting can move directly into accounts from a journal line. The field is automatically selected when new accounts are created, such as receivables, etc. Okay, I'm not reading the complete definition, I'm just going to show you now how it is going to work. In the previous few examples, when I jumped to the journal, I selected A450 account, and it is easily allowing me to pick that account. So why it is allowing me? Because this is a GL account card and the direct posting is enabled. Okay, direct posting is enabled, it is allowing me to pick a GL account. Okay, but if I disable it, okay, if I disable it, go back just so it gets saved, and if I come back over here, delete this line because it is already present in the system. So let me delete this and let me write it again, 8450. What it is giving me an error, direct posting must be equal to yes in GL account. Okay, and current value is no. That means I cannot directly pick the GL account if I disable the direct posting. Okay, so this is the benefit of this particular boolean. Okay, so that is why it is normally enabled for the expense account, so we can directly post from the journal. Okay, there are some accounts in which we don't enable that. It's like a bank account. This is very important. If you enable this direct posting on the bank account, it will let you directly post uh, the entries from the GL card, for example. Let me give you an example for that also. Okay, if I jump to the journal, you can see the bank over here. Okay, what normally we do the transactions from bank, we specify this. But if we enable the direct posting on the bank account card, what it will do, it we can directly select the bank from here. Okay, so what will happen, it will let you post directly from the GL account card. It is not going to create any sub ledger entries, and in the future the bank reconciliation is not going to get completed, because bank reconciliation is completely linked with the sub ledger accounts entries. Okay, so you need to remember one thing, not to enable this for the bank account cards. This is very important, and for the all the other accounts for which you want to restrict anyone to creating the sub ledger, and if you want to create the sub ledger entries, just disable that. Okay, if you don't want to create the sub ledger entries, enable this button. The next one is the blocked means that that this account is not going to get used in the in anywhere in the Business Central. Okay, for example, if I select blocked over here and I create and I specify 8450, then you can say this value actually not be found in the list. Because why? Because it is actually blocked, that is why. Okay, so this is what it is used for. We don't want to use this account for future. We can block that. And one more thing, if you block that, you can unblock that as well. It is not going to say that now you cannot unblock this is just one time, nothing like that. Then the last one is last date modified 21/11/2024. uh, this is the date, this is actually the current date. You can see I did the modification today, last modification, so it is giving me the date for that. The next is the omit default description in general. If you want to omit the description from the journal lines, okay, so you can enable this boolean. Okay, it is not, it is going to not going to show you the description for that in the journal accounts. Okay, and the last one is the review policy. It is actually, we are going to create a separate, small separate video for the omit default description and the review policy as well. Okay, but one thing over here, just going to explain you a little bit, that it is going to allow you can choose three options from that. None, it is not, you don't want to implement the review policy. The second was the allow review. Allow review will uh, let you allow to review your entries after it is being posted. The third one, allow review and match balance, to check from the that the debit and credit are actually matching with each other. For the time being, not going to go in the details right now, but you can see in the posted you can say posted journals or the journal ledger entries. Okay, over here journal ledger entries. Okay, so you can see the review entries option over here. Okay, so you can see this review mark over here, the debit credit. So how it is, the review policy is none. How it is going to work, who actually reviewed it. Okay, what was the last date, what was the date when it was being reviewed. So these are the list of fields which we are going to cover in the separate video, but for time being we are just covering a little bit about the GL card, and we are going to add those videos in our playlist as well. Okay, okay, so for the next you can see that we have covered all the fields that are present in the general section. Now we are jumping to the posting section, and there are the 8 fields that are present over here, and we are going to cover that. The first one is the general posting type, and it has 3 options in that: blank, purchase, sale. Blank means that it is not actually linked with the purchase or sales as well as sale, but there's some, you can say it is actually linked with the posting, VAT posting. Okay, so if I show you the detail in which I have right, that you can see in the general posting type determines if the account is used for the sales, purchases, or both. Okay, I am also going to upload this article in on the LinkedIn, and going to give you the link for that in the description. Okay, so you can check that. In the general posting type, you can see determines if the account is used for sales, purchase, or both. Okay, so for example, works with the VAT posting group to decide VAT is posted. For example, a sales revenue account will have sale, while the expense account for the office supplies may have purchase. Purchase means the input VAT. Okay, at the time when you pay the expenses, you paid some sort of a VAT as well. Okay, or you do some purchases, you pay the VAT as well. Okay, it will consider at the input VAT. Okay, for this account. But for the sales or revenue and the accounts like that, you can specify the sales. Okay, but if you don't want to make it specific, just leave it blank. Okay, I hope you understand that. The next one is the general business posting group. It is going to specify it that it has a domestic nature or it has an export nature. If we come back to the document, you can see a link to the accounts of a business that have a customer or a vendor. Business type, there is a customer or a vendor. Okay, for example, the domestic customer posting group is used for the customer in which from which you are operating in your own country. Okay, while the export vendors applies to the vendors that works outside from your country. Okay, so this is automatically going to pick if you specify that over here. Okay, as you can see, when I specified 8450 account over here. Okay, so it is actually automatically picking the description, and you can see it over here: purchase, domestic, miscellaneous. I don't have to specify again and again because I have already specified on the GL account card. And the next one is the general product posting group. This is majorly related to the, you can say, the items as well as the services. Okay, because normally what we use the items, so we are going to cover that, combined with the general posting business posting group. And a finished good product group is used for the inventory sale, while raw material applies to the purchase. Okay, so you can specify this category of the items with this GL account. For example, you, this is the expense, you only want to use it for the raw material purchases, not for the any other purchases. Okay, not the finished good purchases. Okay, so what you can do, you can specify the raw material in the general product posting group, but for the timing I have specified miscellaneous. Just for the sake of example, I have also given an idea regarding the raw materials. Okay, then the next one is the VAT business posting group. This is also linked with the customers and the vendors. Is it a domestic customer or vendor, or a foreign customer or vendor? For example, if you are if you are exporting, then you are going to specify the none export over here. Okay, and this is going to link with the VAT product posting group. For example, if I specify the export over here, okay, then it should for example, let me actually check that. You can see the export, and if I specify the intercompany, so it should specify some different. Okay, like this. Okay, so I can we can make it that automatic as well, but I think so it is not automated right now. The configuration is incomplete, but it is actually automatically linked with each other also. Okay, for example, uh, like if I specify export, it should make the VAT business posting group export. If I specify domestic, it should make the domestic. The VAT product posting group you have to specify manually. It is actually not linked with the, sorry, VAT business posting. I've specified that wrong. If you specify the services, it actually linked with the general product posting group, not with the, sorry, VAT business posting group. So if you specify services in the front of the services, you can see the VAT product posting group column. So whatever you're going to, if you specify 0, it will automatically pick that. Okay, so this is the, whenever the word product will come, it is actually linked with the items and the services, and whenever the word business will come, it will link with the customers and as well as vendors. Okay, the next one is the text group code. This is for the you can see the GST configuration. A separate, a lecture is needed for to discuss about the tax group, which is normally used in the USA or the Canada part. But for the Middle East, you can say this is not in use because they work with the VAT. Okay, as but rather than USA, you can say, or the Canada, they don't go with the setup of VAT product posting group or business posting group. Rather than they use tax groups because they have a provisional tax system implemented in their countries. Then the next one is the default IC partner GL account. This is actually linked with the intercompany setup. Okay, also going to discuss in the intercompany setup video. But for timing, you can specify that if you are doing the transaction between two companies over here, like Kronos to Contoso. So what you can do, you can do the intercompany setup, and then you can show that over here. The last one is the default deferral template. Deferral templates is actually also a very separate topic, but briefly going to specify that you can specify the default deferral templates in the system. Currently it is not created. Otherwise, in the separate video, I will show you how the deferrals actually work in the system. What does deferral actually means from the financial perspective. Also going to share the inshallah the presentation with you guys for the deferral one. It is a very interesting topic and requires a little bit brief for that, so we are going to skip that for timing, but I can specify that right now. That is, if you want to make a deferral template, because you can create multiple templates in the system. So if you want to make one template very specific for this account, so you can attach it on the GL account card. So whenever you are going to pick on the uh, pick that account in the general journal or anywhere else in the system, so you can do that, and you can see the deferral schedule over here. Okay, so it is actually linked with the journals also. Okay, so how these two are connected, we are going to discuss in the separate video, but for timing, you can say that I give you the brief about the both sections of the uh, DL card. And if you just for the quick, for in 1 minute, if we are going to cover it related to consolidation accounts. Okay, if you want to exclude it, but in detail, you can say we are going to cover that. for the cost accounting and for the exchange rate adjustments. Okay, how it is going to work when I selected adjust amount. Okay, if I select no adjustment, what is the difference, we are going to cover in the separate video inshallah. Okay, and then list of fields you can say that are present in the top. In the second part we are going to cover that. So this is the first part you can say. And when the fields that are present in the top over here, posted documents, incoming documents, review, okay, accounts, what does that mean, we are going to cover that. Dimensions, how you can set multiple dimensions from here. There are few fields, again, close income statement, that requires a separate video, we are not going to cover in the GL account, GL series. Okay, we are going to cover it in this separate video, in which I will show you how you can close an income statement account for an year. Okay, so this was majorly from my side for this video. Okay, in the next video we are going to cover the all the rest of the fields that are present in the GL account card and the other and other places that are linked. So until next time, you can keep me remembering your prayers. So assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.